Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and today I have two things combining to bring you this one amazing video. So as you can probably tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking to you about Stephen King's On Writing and about my hashtag Hot and Sticky Summer Writing Challenge. So let's start with Stephen King. Now, I knew going into picking up on writing that I'm not the biggest fan of Stephen King's writing style. I've read a couple of his books. I enjoyed them to an extent. I like the movies better just because his writing style is not the best for me to really delve into. I find it kind of dry, and I'm not sure why, because so many people love it and so many people talk about how amazing his style is, and I'm just not the biggest fan. But I went into this knowing that and understanding that it was going to take a little bit for me to get into it. And it's taking longer than I thought. I'm DNFing this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not going to finish on writing. However, I am not going to give it a rating on Goodreads and all of that jazz. At this point, I would give it about 2 stars. There are parts of it that I've enjoyed, and he's a very good writer. The way he writes is amazing. He is a wonderful linguist. He works well with words. The problem is I don't like his style of writing, and the way he speaks is just not a voice I enjoy listening to. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I do have a couple of things that I want to share with you from the book because I found them very interesting, even though it took me a couple of times reading through it to really understand what he was trying to say because, again, I don't like the way he writes, and so I just kind of got to the point where I was skimming. However, let's go right here. It says, I want to tell you this about my desk. For years, I dreamed of having the sort of massive oak slab that would dominate a room. No more child's desk in a trailer laundry closet. No more cramped knee hole in a rented house. And in 1981, I got the one I wanted and placed it in the middle of a spacious skylighted study in a converted stable loft at the rear of the house. For 6 years, I sat behind that desk, either drunk or wrecked out of my mind, like a ship's captain in charge of a voyage to nowhere. A year or two after I sobered up, I got rid of the monstrosity and put in a living room suite. And then the kids moved out and whatever. And he has a handmade, beautiful, half the size of the large desk that he put in the far end of the office in a corner under an eave. And he now can do what he knows how to do in a space that feels familiar because he's always had very small spaces to write, and he slept under an eave in a room in Durham and all of this stuff. So basically, the point of that entire story was get to the end of that story, and it says, it starts with this. Put your desk in the corner, and every time you sit down there to write, remind yourself why it is not in the middle of the room. Because life is not a support system for art, it's the other way around, which I found very beautiful. And then there are some other areas where he talks about books that he wrote and the questions that came from publishers, editors, and readers, and things that he's been questioned about in articles by journalists and things of that nature. And it is fairly interesting, but it is also nothing that really grabbed me and made me want to read. I'm thinking this may be something that I'll be more in the mood to read and more capable of just sitting down and reading through and pushing past the type of writing he does to get into the meat of the story, possibly in the winter months or late fall. So I'll probably be checking that back out at that point. However, that is what it is. For my hashtag Hot and Sticky Summer Writing Challenge, I currently have 3 notebooks that contain 5 or 6 different works in progress. So this one contains Polonius Punk and the Cruise Ship Conundrum. It is a children's chapter book. It's the second of its series. It is a book I didn't know I was going to be writing anytime soon. That came to me on the last day of June, although I think the official word count for it started on the first day of July. So we'll toss that out. This one has Sylvester 2.0 in it, and the word count for Sylvester right now is a little over 16,000. I have not written anything in Sylvester in about 4 or 5 days, so we're going to say this one hasn't been written in, in July at all. So all of that 16,000 is part of Hot and Sticky's June wrap up. Let me read to you something towards the beginning or the middle. By the end of the night, two things had happened. Goob had become almost unrecognizable as the wrinkled, greasy old man he had been that morning, and Jackson had forgotten his original wariness of this new best friend, who was now part of his fraternity. So I'm really enjoying that. That character is one that I did not know existed until I did this reboot and took the old whatever it was. It wasn't really a first draft. It wasn't really an outline. So the old outline draft of it and started looking back over it and rewriting it for this. I came up with that character about a week into June. So that was very interesting for me. And then this is the Dragon book. And the last time I wrote in this was June 24th. So I really need to get back with those. But there are also, like I said, 2 picture books, and the children's book in Polonius Punk kind of took over the last few days. So this afternoon, after I get done filming this, I am going to do my best to get today's word count in and get it done with Sylvester and maybe a little bit on the Dragon book, and try to ignore the pushy 9-year-old boys who want me to write their story instead. Okay, so I don't want to go on too much longer in this video, but I do want to talk to you a little bit about my word count wrap up. So the target word count for the end of June was 14,640 words. And I wound up having 19,386 words. So I'm going to break that down for you a little bit. Of the 30 days in June, I had 12 that were below the target 488 word count. I had 18 that were over 500 words. And out of those over 500, there were 6 days that were over 1,000 words, and half of those actually topped at over 2,000 words. So for the days that were below 488, several of them were in the upper 300s to mid 400s. It didn't quite reach the 488 mark. However, I had 4 that were 0 word counts. I just didn't get anything done. 1 that was a total of 4 words, and I counted it because it was words and I didn't have to put a 0 down. And then 1 that was 34 words and 1 that was 39 words. So as long as you are putting words in of a day, you can count them and it works. You don't have to get all the way up to 488 words to prove that you've written something for the day. Now, 488 words is the target, but if you have 4 words, count those 4 stinking words. You need them. They're important. That's why you wrote them. Okay, so my actual in total, like I said, was 19,386 words. As of today, right now on July the 5th, I am sitting at a little over 1,000 words more than that. So I haven't done a whole heap and bunch in the past few days. I've had 1 0-word day, a 300 and something word day, a 700-word day, and a 100-word day. So I've only done about 1,000 words in the last month, but I am still 3,000 words ahead of schedule. I just need to pump some more out. So that is my June wrap up and my little chat discussion on Stephen King's On Writing. I fully expect for you guys to rip me down in the comments about how amazing Stephen King is. I'm sorry. I wish that I could agree with you on this particular book at least, but I do enjoy the movie Christine, if that helps anybody at all. So I'm going to go and do some more writing. May your inspiration flow. May your writing be amazing. May you get all of the word counts and enjoy all of the books. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye.